cacophony of nice. And I think like 80% is our.
I mean, it's to be expected from LGD, right? But I'm convinced that Newbie Young had 5 of him. They were all very, very loud.
As is that music. Coincidentally.
It's soothing, though.
It's soothing. Ah, it's lovely.
That's like me at the local spa getting a massage.
So, we are into the draft for game number 2.
Darkseer.
So they do ban the Darkseer again. No huge surprises here. Interesting. This is the adjustment from LGD, though. They're going to get rid of the Wind Ranger.
That means.
So maybe that means they were the most scared about that in game
They will
1?
first pick SF, 100% if it goes through.
Okay.
So they get rid of Weeha's other second best mid hero, Wind Ranger, and they take the SF.
Do you think they focus on Wee?
Yeah, I think so. That's what it looks like. Alternatively, what else top tier is still in?
If they do that, then don't they leave the Slider and the Doom?
Secret might bait a Doom here.
Yeah.
Actually, they could leave Doom in to prevent this from happening. Might be what LGD are considering right now.
So they have first pick. They can ban one and then I guess Secret and then take the other. So, you know, ban Slardar, take Doom. Secret then probably bans Doom, and then what would they first pick? Tusk?
I think LGD.
I think it's likely they'll go for the Tusk again.
They're not going.
The thing is,
I mean, Secret
Shadow Fiend,
I'm going to leave Doom for LGD, right?
What if Secret goes for the Slardar Shadow Fiend pickup instead?
And leave Doom in?
No.
Would it have to?
If they don't leave Doom in, LGD will first pick Shadow Fiend. I'm almost 100% sure.
Yeah, it is a dire Shadow Fiend. So
That was good maths, though, Jacob.
Oh, they banned Ember too. Wow, they're really targeting them out.
Man,
See, this is what we were saying. They're going to leave at least one of them, if not both.
Okay, so now Secret. Do they let both through then? They don't ban Doom or Slardar?
I would say they do. They have to leave both.
Do you want to give away Doom to get
They could.
No, what I'm saying is they'll
Give
ban
Doom
Doom. Do you think they'll pick Shadow Fiend over the Tusk?
Give Doom and pick AA Shadow Fiend. They could do that.
5 seconds
AA
remaining.
is the go-to counter to Doom when you do give it away. Here we go.
They ban that?
Tusk
Yeah,
goes.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, so that leaves the Slider and the Doom.
Yeah.
Are we going to get a
They're
Doom
going to take
game?
Doom for sure. I don't think
They
they'll
have
be... Maybe they'll change it up, but they have not been running
So you
Slardar
have,
at all.
now you're saying they go for the AA, but there's still Slardar and Shadow Fiend.
They get Doom
Yes.
or Shadow Fiend now in LGD. And if they get Doom, I think Secret get AA. If they get Shadow Fiend, they get Slardar and...
But either way,
Doom.
they get 2 very good.
Oh, Slardar and Doom. Now they probably don't do Slardar Doom.
They're not going to
actually.
pick them both, are they?
No.
I mean, you could do like that
10
FY style 4-position jungle
They
Doom.
could do
He's
that,
actually been pretty successful with that, but I'm not sure if that's
5
something Secret would want to do.
That's how I play all my top games.
I hate you. You're that guy that I just see. I mute him, report him.
Hey, you get it together.
You in 30 minutes.
Exactly, I'm coming out with plenty of items. Just don't feed.
Just win 4v5 for 30 minutes, guys. They're really taking their time with this.
Yeah, well, I think that's fun. I don't think they were expecting that.
Here comes Shadow Fiend.
But that's really been initiated by LGD's banning of the Wind Rangers, surely.
I'm actually with you on this, Trolls. If they if they
so
do
Shadow
go with the
Fiend
Shadow
goes in.
Fiends,
Dire
because
tactic.
picking up Doom and Slardar at the same time seems a bit sketchy. But we have seen Eternal Revenue play the Doombringer on the 1
So
position.
there's the Slider, and it's the
So-
Doom. Yeah, so they are going to get
Hey,
Slider Doom.
It is for
Okay.
LGD.
It's too good to resist.
Yeah, it is too good. They couldn't have left one in.
They don't want to give Doom away, and I think they value the Slardar more.
I'm
so
just
that-
not a fan of this first pick Shadow Fiend. I haven't been throughout the tournament, so I really feel like Team Secret got the
Yeah, it has been a bit
The better
inconsistent,
trade.
isn't it? One game we've seen it, it's been really good. Another game we've seen it, similar lineup, not so good.
especially if
inconsistent.
LGD.
Why don't you like it exactly? Just too great. I mean, what's the? It's Radiant Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, okay. Well, in this case,
But
it's a
it- but
Radiant
it's
Shadow
still-
Fiend.
it's
But
still-
most of the time, like I said earlier, it's been a dire side Shadow Fiend first of all, and secondly, it's often been done when there's a Slardar in the pool or there's something like a better trade.
Oh, Dazzle.
And it's been very
Radiant's
inconsistent,
ban.
Yeah.
no matter what the lineups have been.
There's actually been a lot more dire Shadow Fiend in this event than there normally is. It's usually more of a Radiant exclusive, but obviously Dazzle, a good grab here. Someone gets doomed, you can maybe save them with the Grave and the heal, and of course, great against the physical damage. of
Okay, so
Slardar.
the question now is, with Secret picking out Slider and Doom, where do they go?
They gotta be careful that LGD doesn't just push them down very early on.
So it's probably going to be an Envy Doom,
10
right?
seconds
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
pick.
I'm mainly thinking about Weeha's hero. I feel like they have plenty of options for
Dire's
Puppy and Pilot Eye, even though Lich and AA are banned.
Whenever we've seen Envy's Doom, it's actually been hugely underwhelming. Weird Doom timings, odd target choices.
The last time I remember, like, oh my god, Envy just destroyed on Doom was MLG Columbus. I don't know if you remember that game.
That was 2 years ago.
60 armor or something. He had the Ochre Frost armor, he had the Lich Ice armor, the Shiva's AC. It was pretty gross.
But what does Weeha play? I'm just thinking
plays
his 3 go-tos are Wind Ranger, Shadow Fiend, and Meepo.
Lena's another hero he can
Lena
play.
could be
TA, maybe, but they're kind of heavy on the physical damage then.
I like Lena a lot, actually, as an option, but I don't think they need to pick it yet.
So what would the supports be then?
I worry that they go for Bane. I feel like LGD might even try and bait them into a Bane pick. Just to stack up on these single target heroes that have no wave clear, no real counter push ability. And then we just bring out the MMY Holy Knight, aka Chen.
Chen into Doom. Let's go. It's okay.
What? There's no problem in that.
No,
He stays in the very back.
He gets Devour and Midas, and then...
And gold just
you
comes
mean
out
for
of
Devour, you don't mean
every
for
orifice of his body. So last time in
No
phase...
problem.
It's not that bad, actually.
Last time in phase 2 they banned Bounty Hunter. This time they banned the AA. Obviously Bounty pretty good at pressuring the Shadow Fiend. You guys brought that up last time. I don't think you can get away with it in this draft, but...
I mean, what's Weeha go for the Meepo? 5 melee lineup from Secret with a Bounty Hunter and a Meepo.
I feel like it's way too early to pick up a Meepo.
Oh, not right now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's too late to pick a Meepo.
They can counter pick it and it probably doesn't fit.
Okay.
Shadow Shaman comes in.
Good synergy with Amplify damage again. It seems like when they pick the Slaughter, they like that their supports have synergy too, and not just their cores. Last game it was the Death Ward, this time it's Serpent Wards.
It's well thought out.
Fear played this on day 1, was incredibly successful actually. It's a very strong laning draft.
They still lost the game,
lost
I
the
think.
Yeah,
But he
was
was...
the Fnatic.
No, actually, they won.
Was that the game?
No,
they
they
lost the
lost
game.
it. They lost again.
But he had a huge impact for support.
10 seconds to pick.
It's kind of hard to put pressure right now for LGD. You look at a lot of the heroes that got banned, Darkseer, the Tusk, even the Clockwork.
But it really feels like this has thrown LGD more than it has Secret.
They
It's
are
gonna be Earthshaker for LGD, I think, as a core offlane for RTK. They did play it earlier today against Cloud9. He's kind of out of heroes here, and it's really good against double melee core.
There's Undying, I guess.
Oh, yeah, he's in 2. That's good too.
Oh.
Alright, you know what?
Third, fourth, IO.
Okay,
Whatever,
maybe it was
let's
exactly the right
completely
time for it.
Cinderin, as usual, on point with his...
Come on, I got the first 3 once right. Give me a break.
Hey, even I got the first 3. That's not saying much.
He stole my idea.
They have not run IO lately. In fact, a lot of the Chinese teams have kind of shied away from it. Even Vici with lowercase super has not been running it much.
It's an interesting approach.
Lowercase super.
That's how I differentiate.
And we're gonna.
All right. Secret aware of the fact that they were vulnerable to being
that's another
pushed.
Weeha, right? Yeah. Queen of Pain.
Definitely picking up some anti.
That's kind of in the same vein as the Lina. Someone that can fight pretty early, has good lane presence, isn't that greedy, but does scale reasonably well. Good burst versus the IO.
The Bounty Hunter pickup right now makes a lot of sense to me. I think that's what LGD should be worried about.
It got a lot better now that they got Shaman Queen. They can get away with it, perhaps.
I still feel like there's that slight curveball of the...
And the supports can't really punish it.
Ooh, wow.
This hero eats Doom alive.
Yeah.
If he gets his ultimate.
Slaughter too.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain too.
Yeah, it's kind of a... this is interesting because Queen of Pain can almost single-handedly kill Phantasmal Illusions pretty far into the game if she hits Sonic and Scream on them. But at the same time, if Chaos Knight
She
gets
makes
the
herself
counter-
very vulnerable to... Yeah.
He's one of the very best late game heroes if you don't have like proper counters for him and mass AoE.
It takes away a lot of the attention that Shadow Fiend
I'm
doesn't
actually...
want.
Are they considering some aggression here?
I was about to say, I'm wondering if LGD are considering an aggressive tri-lane into this Doom and just run him over in lane with IOCK Dazzle. Shadow Shaman is a super weak support in the first 2 or 3 levels. They can very easily put... There are a lot of heroes that lane well against Slardar. And the Chaos Knight with Reality Rift pulling the target towards him, IO moves in melee and you get a heal bomb with Dazzle. It's actually a really good combination of a lane.
Good point.
I mean, could Secret switch up their lanes
Yeah,
then?
then they could play Quap there maybe.
And put Doom mid, I guess?
You would think that as
Doom
good
gets
as you
shit
are
on by
at
a
analyzing the game trolls, you would be better at it.
It was time for banter again.
For Jacob, he was just napping through
It was
game
still
one.
better. It was
I
better
think-
than your flame at Denmark.
I think
That
the
was
key
so
was
forced.
he'd actually run out.
I don't know about that.
I think the key was he'd actually run out of useful things to say, and he just thought, okay, it's banter time.
Let's go back to the well.
make all the wrong choices.
So you guys mentioned Bounty Hunter. Anything else that comes? I mean, that's another hero that doesn't necessarily have the most presence. You've got pretty strong defensive supports already. I guess it depends on what they expect out of LGD. Are they actually considering aggressive tri-lane? Or are they just gonna camp the Dazzle mid and help out the SF?
I mean, Witch Doctor isn't half bad right now, I think.
10
That was fifth
seconds
pick
to
last
pick.
time around. That's well for LGD, I think.
The Witch Doctor?
5
Alright,
seconds.
alright.
Secret did have a
Secret
Secret,
did
yeah.
pick it, yeah.
Yeah.
How about a Sand King for
5
Puppy?
seconds. Hurry.
I mean,
hurry.
isn't that feels way too greedy.
Just for no reason
How about a
whatsoever.
Chen?
No, the thing is, Sand King is really good against Chaos Knight, and it actually...
Hey, we got to see a
synergizes
Chen.
pretty well.
I called it, guys.
Also,
On the
they
wrong
could
team.
run a
Woo!
That was all Jacob.
I
It
like
was,
this pick a lot.
It's a reverse Chen.
Combos well with Doombringer and Shadow Shaman as well. Gets up a lot of auras early on. Can push down towers, obviously, with the Plague Wards, and that's not what they're called. And the Doombringer tanking it up.
Let's just go with it, Jacob. It's fine.
Serpent
10
Wards.
seconds.
There we go, Serpent Wards.
Ah, you got corrected by LD.
Oh my
5
god.
seconds remaining.
Career ended.
I mean, the LGD are not very good at playing from behind. If they don't have much wave clear, they don't have much lane fight. That's
Oh,
an RTK
a
hero.
Bat Rider comes in, so RTK gets something to play with.
I heavily favor Team Secret in this game.
Okay, Team Secret, LGD, it is game 2. Cap, it's all yours.
Thank you, Paul. That's right. We have a Whisk Chaos Knight for LGD, but we've got a classic Chen Puppy. There's so much to talk about in this draft. Purge, where do you want to start?
Secret is basically all about pushing, and LGD-GAMING is all about stunning with Chaos Knight and getting follow-up damage. If that Chaos Knight stun doesn't come through, I'm a little hesitant about their lockdown. It's either the Chaos Knight stun or the Bat Rider ulti.
Yeah, I
Is it
really
gonna be
feel
enough?
like the Bat Rider has to have a pretty successful game as well, because he's going to be the only other disabled that they're really bring to the table
10
aside from the
seconds
Chaos
to
Knight
pick.
stun. But there's also the opening. Like, what did you think when you were watching
5
this? The
seconds
SF first pick from LGD and the response Team Secret getting both the Slardar and the Doom, two of the more favorite heroes of the meta.
It's definitely weird to see Doom come back a little, because teams basically dropped him off the cliff. They said, okay, this is one of the best heroes, and all of a sudden, he's gone. He doesn't scale as well into the mid game due to the Ags change, which makes a difference. So I think the main thing that LGD is going to have to worry about here is the counter push. With the Chen pick, I mean, you could kind of see it in Secret due to the fact that they pick Shadow Shaman, but Secret has pretty decent push now, and they have a hero that can definitely siege in Doom. Pop Scorched Earth, it's going to heal you up, grab some armor items, maybe a mech, maybe a Shiva's Guard, and all of a sudden LGD's already kind of weak damage becomes really weak, and the only way he's going to die is if he gets pulled all the way back. And even Secret kind of has a solution to that. If Puppy's fast enough, send him back to the fountain, and all of a sudden LGD's kind of screwed. So I also favor the Secret draft.
All right, well, we're starting things off here in game number 2. Of course, Team Secret 1 game up after a 65-minute bloodbath between these two teams. We're now seeing whether or not game 2, LGD can draw this to a third game. Team C are going to be starting off on the top side of things. Looks like they're going to be heading for the top bounty rune, most likely. Puppy just kind of showing himself, perhaps forcing LGD to think there's going to be some sort of aggressive maneuver, but it's just a feint.
I mean, they could, yeah, they've only got 12 seconds. It's time to go for a rune here. And it's nice that he was standing there as well, because then you can see where they are. Then you know, oh, there's 3 heroes already down here. They're likely to commit to this. The Shadow Fiend's at the bot rune. You know they're going to be there. It lets you make a good decision there.
Because you never know if there's like the Radiant side, like 5-man from this cliff area, and they just like all march down, and all of a sudden you're kind of caught going for that bounty rune. It's a dangerous thing indeed. So Looks like our lanes are going to be pretty normal. We've got the Queen of Pain matched up against the SF. Both of them are going to be feeling a bit of support help. Of course, Puppy's going to have the advantage there because he will be able to jungle and just occasionally rotate in. But his rotations are obviously going to be very key. We'll see whether or not he goes for the early smoke or anything like that. Meanwhile, we have Secret. They're going to have Misery playing as the offlane Sorter once again against MMY and Sylar. And R2K, who's already doing a battle with Pylai Die here in this top lane, also has Eternal Envy backing up that support.
It's pretty hard to zone a Batrider as a Shadow Shaman. Your movement speed is already really low. Aethershock is a great ability, but due to the low turn speed, he can't fight forever, so he's going to have to back off here for a bit. And his tangos are kind of low as well. Now, with the Chen pick, I like to see Chens in games, but it really depends what creeps he gets. And with this first Wild Wing Ripper, he could very easily just go for the heavy farm. He also got no Mud Golems.
Oh, yeah,
he could basically
great.
just tornado both of these waves and hit a really fast level 3, then transition and ganking. So playing Chen is a lot more about what creeps happen to spawn in the jungle and how do you react to those things.
At the same time, LGD do seem in a very favorable position when you're just comparing their two offlaners. Misery has a lot more to contend with just the Wisp Chaos Knight. That's a lot of kill potential between these two heroes, while obviously we're seeing how ROTK can just bully around this dual lane.
Yeah,
RTK
RTK
is heart's content.
He's going to get a lot of levels out of this, especially because he knows there's only one support. Chen's not going to be here anytime soon. He could show up with maybe one creep right now, but as long as he watches the scoreboard, he knows that Chen's not level 3. There's only maximum one creep, and it's much more likely that Chen's getting some aggressive maneuvers going on there.
Yeah, and even once we start getting a little bit later on into the laning phase and they start getting some heavier levels, and Shadow Shaman has both his disables, and Doom has that higher level of Scorched Earth, he can always fall back to the jungle, where supports are very likely to be stacking for both him and, of course, maybe as the SF. That's going to be the big advantage of the Radiant side SF, of course. So even if Weehaw can put a good amount of pressure on maybe, just doesn't seem like they're going to be able to ever really shut his farm down. RTK with the Firefly will be able to get over the cliffs, no problem. This harassment from Eternal Envy and Pylai Die isn't really going to result in much.
Well, Puppy was the highest level in the game for a moment there. He got level 4 out of that stack. That's the fastest I've ever seen a Chen hit 4. And now, because he hit level 3, it allows him to have 2 creeps at once instead. So he can always dedicate one creep mid to zoning into Shadow Fiend, and he can spend the other creep with himself farming. It's going to limit his farm a bit, but it's going to allow him to give a lot of space to Weehaw and allow him to get as much farm as he wants while preventing Shadow Fiend from accelerating. It's a big advantage getting lucky on those first stacks.
Seems Misery is perhaps going to be joining the Chen in jungling, feeling that he doesn't want to be feeding away too many kills to the Chaos Knight Wisp. And I would agree that the biggest thing for Secret is just to kind of keep this game calm and not let the Chaos Knight Wisp, who I feel are pretty momentum-based duo.
Yeah.
Don't give them those early kills. Don't let them get the quick advantage in that fast level 6 on the Wisp.
Especially because it's so hard to estimate how strong they are. Because you're used to seeing, oh, it's a Chaos Knight. He's got a stun, he can pull back. But when you throw a Wisp into that, everything he does is supercharged, and the movement speed, and the extra slow, and he can give mana to Chaos Knight to fix that huge issue with Chaos Knight where his mana pool is really weak. It just really allows you to get kills that people don't normally expect to be killed by. So it's very safe that Misery goes back, does a little stacking, and we'll see if he can do anything. He's going to set up a kill top, actually.
Yeah, they may be able to catch him as RTK actually stays away from that cliff area. Almost gets the stun, but RTK plays around in that that cliff water area. He'll be A-okay. And Misery is just unfortunately not able to do much with this Boots first build. We may see him still try and rotate into middle, but maybe he's going to have a full refill on his bottle now.
Would have been a really nice kill if they did kill Bat there, but maybe Misery should have stayed bot. He could have contested the rune for sure, and that would have prevented Shadow Fiend from getting a double damage here, which frankly is going to mean Weehaw has no chance of killing Shadow Fiend in the next 2 or so minutes, unless he pops it instantly. Should be able to get all the last hits though. Let's see, just goes for raises here. It's a little worried. It is nighttime though, and there could be some creep wrap around here. Puppy now sitting at 5. A fast level 6 would give him that global heal, mean that anywhere, especially mid, that Weehaw would have an extra 200 HP, which is another way that he could definitely press an advantage and just kill Shadow Fiend. Especially because SF just hit 5 and Weehaw's already 6. So the mid lane here is really where the action's going to happen.
It's pretty insane how many denies Weehaw got in the beginning of this game with the help of Puppy's harassment and then just some of the natural advantage very early on of the Queen of Pain over the SF.
Yeah.
He was able to establish a pretty good level lead over Maybe, but again, Radiant side SF with stacks coming out from the Wisp, Maybe will very rapidly shoot up over the Queen of Pain as he clears through the neutrals. But Puppy's going to come in with this smoke. He also has Misery behind him. If they can get a really successful game, maybe he's already down to low HP, and he's going to be caught by Misery, just burst it down real quickly, and that's going to be your first blood. And the Wise also going to be caught. The Sonic Wave goes out. They actually hit Sylar in the process. Sylar's going to be in some trouble, trying to go for the kill on Weehaw, but he's already started bottling up, and Sylar knows he just has to try and escape this situation. But Misery, he's got his sprint ready to go, plus the boots will be able to catch up to Sylar eventually. They're going to commit for this kill even further. Sylar desperate for some help from the rest of LGD, but doesn't seem to be getting it. No one is around. He's going to pop the ultimate now to try and help give a little bit more distance. The Wiz comes in, helps heal him up a little bit more, but there's just too much damage to the rest of Eternal Envy and Highlight Eye coming in. Now DDC and MMY, they're going to be the next targets. Team Secret, they're not stopping anytime soon. A good race comes out for Maybe threatening some of these heroes, but it's still MMY going to be dying to the scorched earth, and Eternal Envy wants DDC as well. The hill comes out for the Chen, keeping them perfectly healthy as they continue to sustain. Diving onto LGD, 0 to 5, make it 0 to 6 as Baby's being body blocked beautifully by Puppy. LGD saves one, just 6 minutes in, already 6 deaths to Team Secret.
The dive continues, man. That global heal just put all the creeps up to full HP. The diving continued, plenty to tank. None of these guys even have mana anymore because that was so long. Man, great attempts at escaping by LGD, but Secret was just all over them. Mobility advantage, tons of creeps, tons of right clicks. It was very interesting to see EE and Pylite shift from the top lane. As soon as they got there, I was like, what the hell? They gave up on farming because they're like, we're diving, guys. This fight is not ending. And that's good that they did that, because games where Wisp wins, it's because he uses that BS heal to give tons and tons of survivability to allies. And by them rotating over, yeah, they missed some last hits, but all of a sudden it's a 6-0 game and they have the top 3 net worths.
LGD are going to be struggling to get back into this game. It's definitely going to be a lot more farm focused, but you know Team Secret after a big win like that are going to be... I mean, just look at Misery. He has 1,100 gold. This was a guy who wasn't in lane at all.
And he was level 2 when that started.
Yeah, and now he's level 4, halfway to his Blink Dagger. Insane. The Queen of Pain versus the SF matchup, obviously still very favorable for Quap after all that experience. Almost level 8 now.
2 Shadow Fiend deaths happened during that fight. That just blows my mind. He's only level 6 here. Normally we'd be seeing like a level 7, level 8 Shadow Fiend starting to accelerate really heavily, but with those deaths, man, and he lost souls twice. That's actually also super significant. His damage is much lower right now, which reduces his farm ability, which reduces his ability to catch up.
So LGD not looking great, especially with how passive their supports are between the Dazzle and the Wisp. It just means, I think, a lot less opportunities. It's not like anything of the game really changes when these heroes hit 6, especially the Dazzle. Once you have the relocate, yes, it gives you some more ganking opportunities, but what if already too far behind to actually get some of these kills? What if Secret have decided to, group up and you don't have the great openings they usually see with a Chaos Knight Wisp game? This could turn very sour soon for LGD, as we now have the Gloves of Haze for Sylar, so... Is this going to be the early armlet, I presume, or is there any catch-up Midas possibility?
I don't think this is the game.
No.
Midas has some value because they're against a Chen, and you can destroy his creeps and get gold from it, but I think it's much more likely. Chaos Knight is basically an early to mid-game hero. He's a lot better when he has some strength early because he's not a big farmer. He doesn't have AoE farming abilities. I think it's very likely that he will go for armlet.
Look at that, Highlight Die with the early level 6 is able to take the tier 1 tower in the top lane. Throws out the Hex to make sure that the Batrider can't stop him. Meanwhile, the rest of Team Secret are actually smoking up and rotating to the bottom lane, trying to use Misery as fishy bait for Sylar to jump on. Weehaw, his smoke does get popped. He's going to be seen by MMY, who tethers over to Sylar. Will be able to get away in time.
A little bit of harass going on him. Force the bottles out now, which means only he's going to get the regen rather than 2 heroes. So that's very good for him to do the harass. The tornado comes through as well. That's going to zone them out. This would do damage over time and a little bit of slow, which makes it so hard for them to actually defend the tower. They can't just stand there and wait for the perfect moment. They basically have to say, all right, you can have the tower. Go ahead. We're going to go do something else.
I mean, how are we going to fight into this? Like, once they take this tier 1 tower, Puppy's going to be super close to mech. If Team Secret just, start 5-banning, how do you fight into Chen, heal, and mech?
That's
You're lacking damage on LGD.
might find Misery though.
Oh, they're gonna get the Doom out onto Sylar. Fortunately, the long duration stun and then the help of the tether will help Sylar keep ahead, but the Sonic Wave actually lands on both of them. MMY, they're just going to continue to chase down Sylar, ensuring this big kill on the carry. Maybe unable to get the deny. They chase down the Wiz as well with the help of Misery. And now Eternal Empty, he's still looking at maybe with the help of Weeha blinking in, but fortunately maybe does have a haste rune and is actually going to go for the kill on Weeha. Misses that secondary raise, and that's going to force him back.
That definitely would have killed him if he landed that raise below the 220 HP here. Maybe still looking around, seeing, can I get a double raise on Weehaw? A kill here would be so big, and it would, but he can't even defend here. If he approaches too far up, Envy's just going to run him down. Especially with the very close Blink Dagger on Misery. And this push doesn't end, by the way. Pilot Eyes got warped in 3 seconds. Unless he saves it for Roche or Tier 1 bot, I guess they could shift there as well. They have a lot of options right now. They are stupidly far ahead.
They certainly are. Weehaw is going to take advantage of that, going for the more aggressive Orchid build. Obviously, a lot of potential out of this. Chaos Knight is unlikely to go for an early BKB. Same kind of goes for the SF, so Orchid will have some value. Oh, looks like LGD, they're finally going to get their first kill on the board. You find Pylai Die sitting in the trees.
That's a big one. Any experience that they can get is great. It puts IO to 6 now. So now the global issue comes in for Secret. If they see Chen off in the top lane without any creeps, boom, relocate, kill him. Very, very easy. So Puppy's going to have to adjust his playstyle a little bit. Shadow Shaman's going to have to adjust his playstyle a little bit. Makes things a lot harder. But even still, the 5-mana Secret is far better than anything LGD can put up right now, with the exception of that little pesky Batrider who does have his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, this is finally when the Batrider comes online. This is part of the problem that Secret were able to dive so efficiently because the Chen had that early, amazing start with the neutrals and then that rotation in the middle lane. There was nothing a Batrider could do in that scenario, right? It's just one of the downsides of running an offlaner like that. But now that he's got the Blink, he can finally be a bigger factor and maybe find some openings for LGD to take advantage of these rather over-farmed heroes.
Safe thing being done, and they're going to smoke even though they are so far ahead. Doom will sit mid. He's very tanky at the moment. Plate mail is up, so most likely will be a Shiva's Guard very rapidly to provide him extra int pool, which he really needs, and as well just the attack speed reduction is going to be massive this game, actually. Especially when your opponents don't have much farm. They might spot Chaos Knight.
Yeah, Pylai runs right into him. Who gets the stun off first? That'll be Pi. The Hex, now they follow up with Misery, but Sylar's going to be pretty healthy between him and the Dazzle. They're actually going to relocate him back, which leaves DDC out in the cold. He's just going to be chased down by the Chen creeps. Will be eliminated. Killing spree already for Puppy at 12 minutes.
It is not the time to take with trade. Oh, he does get stunned.
Yeah, he's not going to make it out, so they get a secondary kill, and the relocate felt a little off point. I didn't really see the immediacy needed for a relocate on Chaos Knight, who's getting the heals.
I feel like there was going to be backup shortly after, and they had no vision. It's nighttime. All they see is a Shadow Shaman who turned and decided to fight. That's a scary thing when you're losing this bad. Because the only way you get back in this game is if you start cutting your losses and trading evenly. You can only go for trades or free kills, and most of the time a team like Secret is not going to give you the free kills. They've got to only take the good ones, and Wisp said, I'll save the Chaos Knight. And he did, but he died as well as the Dazzle, so not very good for them.
Team Secret so far ahead, they're not sure who they want to take the Aegis. It's going to be Weehaw in the end, which they did take Roche on so damn quickly. Between the combination of Serpent Wards as well as the Amplify damage.
And Misery is ready to fish for kills here. Can they find the Shadow Fiend?
He's going to be able to catch RTK first, starting off with the Slithering Crush. Okay, Centaur following that one up, and RTK is going to be spotted out. The amp damage, yeah, he's sitting on the side, but okay. Eternal is just not messing around with RTK. Throws out the Doom, and why not? It's guaranteed kill, and he may not have to use it at this rate in the next 100 seconds.
The most applicable time to yell Doom. Like, there's no salvation to ROTK there. He's like, you have 100 HP. I don't think you're going to survive this one.
Okay, it is the catch-up minus for Sylar, and obviously a little bit of help in eliminating Chen creeps.
I think it's okay now, don't you think? Like, before it was like, okay, you're kind of losing. Maybe get an armlet. Now it's like, you are really losing by a Midas. Like,
yeah,
maybe delay this somehow. And the problem with Chaos Knight, though, is there's just not a lot of solutions. I think Chaos Knight hasn't been picked almost ever recently. It's almost entirely Tiny Wisp, almost every single time. So I feel like the Midas is not the solution. The solution is not get 10-0'd at the start of the game.
Certainly, especially since Chaos Knight is a carry who doesn't naturally farm very well, like Tiny does, he's all about the kills.
Misery literally just read the game well. He said, "You're a Chaos Knight with a Wisp. The only way that you're going to get out of control."
Oh, the relocate, but the jump into the stun. They're going to stop the relocate. Bye-bye, Wisp, Chaos Knight. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they do manage to take out the Doom. It looks like Chaos Knight's still going to die in the bottom lane, but the dive in on Puppey, LGD will be able to take him down. It looks like Puppey just turns around, gets whatever damage he can. RTK finishes him off. Misery hits the stump, but it's not his time. RTK is definitely overcommitted, though, and he will be going down. Nice TP out from Maybe with a Shallow Grave at assistance, and DDC will also get out. So that turns out all right, despite that huge jump in from Misery at the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's one of those trades that you need. Trading 3 for 2, not amazing for LGD, but that triples their kills, man. That's 3 to 14. That percentage is a lot closer.
Yeah,
so.
you gotta look on the plus side, and even if it is a numbers advantage for Secret, it's still actually like golden experience. Either keeps it even or slight advantage in some ways to LGD.
Imagine if the relocate didn't get canceled. Basically, 2 heroes down there. They try to initiate. They're a little bit too late. Then they have to catch up. Like they TP to lane. Queen of Pain's TP's on a 20-second cooldown. They could have done a 5v3 right there, and they could have potentially wiped Secret. That would have been amazing for them. Either way, they still go even-ish. They've got to be happy with that considering the state of the game, but it's still not looking amazing.
Team Secret got to be careful and not giving up more opportunities like that to LGD. So you're going to jump in. First reveal of the Orchid is going to catch DDC potentially by surprise, and with the DD, may still be open. Nah, it's Shallow Grave. Yeah, he's going to come in for now. TDC does, of course, have that Shallow Grave. Is going to TP out now. And Misery just a bit short there on the Blink Dagger. Won't be able to hit the stun. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Doom goes out, but it's not in time to stop the lasso. Puppey, oh, he doesn't actually make it over the cliff. And unfortunately, LGD in a bad position as MY almost gets bursted down immediately. Relocate up in 5 seconds. Misery misses the stun, but hits ROTK. Sylar gets left behind, and MMY relocate back out. Barely in time, but it's into the hands of Highlight Die, who just shocks him a new one. LGD, they lose 3, and maybe will just barely stay ahead of Team Secret. Once again win the fight, and they'll take more objectives.
Chaos Knight is still useless, man. It's out of control at this point because Doom is about to make his Shiva's Guard, and once he has that, he's already got the recipe. Chaos Knight's Alright, Chaos Knight only has attack speed items, right? Well, he's got, 55 attack speed. The Shiva's about to reduce his attack speed by 50. So essentially, Chaos Knight's going to have nothing but HP and skill points. And that's not a place you can be.
Oh, dear. He's really gunning for this one. He's got the weave taken down. He really wants to be able to get good ultimate, but he's already losing DDC, and maybe it's just going to be forced all the way back. Meanwhile, RTK thought it was the time for initiation, but he's going to be lost as Sonic Wave cleans him up. Sylar and the rest of LGD just start backing themselves away, but Pilot, he just jumps on forward, almost trying to finish off the support. He's going to be combo down. Sylar comes in. Weehaw will be able to take out the 2 supports. Sylar now pops his ultimate, trying to catch up with the Blink Strike, trying to get the kill on Weehaw, but it's still just an Aegis. Sylar, you don't want to commit for this one. Yeah, you got the kill, but you've lost your own life. Maybe he comes in, he's going to try and one-shot Weehaw, he gets it! That'll be okay for LGD, but can they stop this push? It's still the triple wards with the rest of Team Secret nailing that melee Rax, and only maybe to be able to defend. Looks like Team Secret are going to take the early advantages. Maybe now going to be targeted, Chainstone comboed up, and maybe just disappears. And Secret once again wipe LGD.
They're not giving up yet, no GG, unless they're just going to do a delayed one, but Secret is going to get this range, or this melee barracks at 18 minutes here. Dazzle's going to rest.
Melee Rax is so damn low, but the regen's helping out. Now the sun comes out for Misery on the 2. He turns around, gets out the Doom. Wit's trying to get that extra little bit of damage. The send back on Slardar. Now Puppey commits for the melee Rax, and he gets it. Have me all you want, but I got the objective. LGD failed to defend the melee Rax before the 20-minute marker.
That was not bad. I would trade. They got a lot of kills there, honestly. They killed an Aegis. They picked up Weehaw. They got Puppey as well. Yeah, they lost to melee Rax. That melee Rax is going down no matter what, man. Like, what they salvaged was they salvaged a range barracks and they got some kills. That was a great defense considering where they're at. Considering only one of their heroes is higher in net worth than any of Secret's. They're sitting pretty good.
Yeah, maybe surprisingly enough, sitting 3rd on the board with 9K is almost caught up to Doom and the Queen of Pain after that one-shot kill on Weehaw. And he's gonna look for, well, another opportunity, but him by himself without the ultimate, there's no way he can kill the Queen of Pain.
No lasso either, so very low chance of him getting that kill. But in 20 seconds, maybe he can make it work. But he's got no souls. He's not full. 24 is all. So low chance of him getting a one-shot right now. And MMY says, well, I mean, my carry has nothing, but I'm going to protect him anyways, just in case he gets ganked. I'm happy to sacrifice myself, and Secret might go a little bit more passive here, but even with that said, they are so farmed right now.
Does Eternal Envy just keep going? He does like the old build that he used to do on the carry Doom back in Cloud9 and just go both Shivas and AC?
It's pretty good this game, because they are very physical based. Chaos Knight is mostly physical, Dazzle's physical, Shadow Fiend's a mix. I think it's a good idea.
Relocate out. MMY saves just in time before Pylite Eye can get the disable. Are they actually going to fight around this? LGD are teeping in. ROTK is going to make the initiation here. Looks like they're going to bring the Chaos Knight Wiz back to Bolt here. Eternal Envy going to be the first one targeted. The Wiz actually comes alone by himself. But ROTK, the ultimate comes out from AB, but it's still not enough to eliminate Eternal Envy. The Minus Armor is taking him down, but he's got the heals. And now, it's Doom on Maybe. He's never going to be able to get away from this. He's just trying to get some damage out, but even his death animation is not going to be enough to get a kill. Slardar, nice stop there for Misery, but LGD have already called it. They know this game is over. They were fighting for scraps all game long after that 6-man wipe in the middle lane. It's on a rampage for Weehaw.
They, I think the reason they GG'd at that point, it was like they defended, it went pretty well, but then they had a perfect team fight, essentially. Yeah. Great Requiem. They almost got a couple kills. And then there's that terrifying moment where Puppy presses his heel and everybody goes from the almost kill to the half HP. And you know, okay, that's it. There's no coming back from this one. Our